Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and I have a fun project that we are going to be able to use up old cards. Christmas cards, birthday cards, note cards, any type of cards. Matter of fact, we could use new cards if you have a lot to use up. And what we're going to make are these cute little pillow boxes. So what we're going to need are some old cards, a piece of cardboard, some paper clips, paper scissors, some good sticky glue, and I will put in the description a template so that you can follow along, and a fine tip ballpoint pen. We can't use one of the felt markers. We will need to put a crease in that paper, so we will need a good strong ballpoint pen. That's all we're going to need. Now, of course, we can always embellish these, but let's just start with the basics. So what we're going to make are these little boxes, and they're called pillow boxes because they do look like a pillow. And I have used old cards to make these little boxes. They could be very fancy or very simple. We're going to need some cards and the template. And we can just cut that template out. And this is going to make these little boxes. They're about 2 inches by 4 inches. These little boxes can have a little piece coming over, or that piece could be tucked in so we don't see it at all. The boxes can sit upright or lengthwise. It won't matter what direction they're in. So I'll give you a couple examples of how I make these from some cards. This little pillow box will be folded up, and then this flap will come to the top. So it can make that top flap, or that flap can go inside so you don't see it at all. And if it does go inside, you can always cut that smaller. So we will need a card that is going to fit this shape, or at least close to it. So for this card, I'm going to want to center this picture. So that picture will fit here, or in this direction, or in this direction. So I'm just going to need to lay it out to have it fit in. And if I can, I do like to use that fold in the card that's already there. That fold can go up at the top or in the center, depending on the card. Like I said, it doesn't matter the direction you go into. What we're looking at is the picture that we want to fit in one of these areas. So I can see that little pattern underneath. I will not be using that top fold, so I will just cut that edge right off. I probably will be able to get 2 out of this one large card. So in this case, I'm going to put the template down, and I can see this area is where the picture is going to be. And I paper clip this template on. Once it's paper clipped on, I can cut out that shape. Now that that shape's cut out, I'm going to fold it in these 2 fold lines. While it's still on, this really is the easiest to do. And take the back of the scissors and just crease that. And this top flap will sit right along that edge. And in that case, I could take out the paper clips and just fold it right along that edge. And just give that a good fold. So my little box is going to have this shape to it. I can have that flap if I want go towards the back, or I can have it go inside. If it's decorative, it's nice to have it outside, and other cases, well, we might as well just keep it inside. So if it's too long, you can always trim that down. Take a piece of cardboard and place the front facing down. Then we get to replace that piece. Just have it go right on top. And then we can take a pen and just trace these curves. I'm just going to trace right over those lines. Now the camera cannot pick it up, but I can see those indents that I've done. And I will redo them with the pen point. Just go right over them. And press fairly hard because we really want this to have a crease in it. Now this is the inside, so you're not going to see the marks. For this particular pattern, I did use a 3.5-inch circle. So if you'd like, you can use that 3.5-inch circle line and just draw around it. This is now going to fold right along this curve. When we fold this, we're going to be able to glue this edge down. The back area is where we're going to cut out these little finger grips or the little holes. And now you can follow them exact, but I really just find it just as easy just to cut off these little areas here, and those are going to be little finger grips. Now glue the card together. That's where some good sticky glue is going to come in handy. I am using Aleene's Tacky glue, but you can use your favorite glue. Just put a thin layer of glue right along that flap and fold that coming over and re-paper clip it. And that way, that's going to give the glue a chance to dry. So that's going to be the front. While that glue is drying, which will only take a couple of minutes, I can use the other one. Some of them I'm able to use the inside writing, but in this case, I'm going to use that background picture. Same thing, I'm just going to addition where it's going to fit the best, and I'm not worried the direction. I just want that picture to fit in one of those areas, and then I'm not going to worry about that flap. So I can trace around the shape and then cut it out. I will need to put those fold lines in. I use that paper just to help line it up and then give it a good crease. With that picture down, line up that picture and trace that curve. This cardboard is just giving a little padding so the pen can go deeper and leave a bigger crease. Glue and paper clip. I'm just going to smooth out that glue with a scrap of paper because we don't need a lot of it. Paper clip it and let it dry. This is all we're going to need to do for these little pillows. When it's dry, we take those paper clips off, and that end that we did that little cut out is going to fold in first. And then just fold that over. We're done. This card I was able to use lengthwise. Same with that card. So here's the one with the back of the card. I've made those little finger notches. It's going to fold in. And one more little box. I'll do another one just with this top one so you can see that top flap going over. And for that, I do use these note cards. Take that template, put it along that fold, paper clip, and then cut out that almost circle shape. And before I cut one side off or the other, I need to decide what side I'm going to cut off. So I'm going to fold both those edges down right along that fold line. So both those folds are inside. Now when I take off that template, I'm going to be able to decide, do I want the flap coming forward or along the back, or we can also leave them so that they stay together. So let's put those crease lines in and I'll show you how we can turn this into a little purse. So those little side folds are drawn in. Whatever's going to be the inside is where we're going to put those little curve cuts. So I'm now going to take and glue those two flaps together. Keep that glue nice and thin, put it together and paper clip it for a couple of minutes until it dries. Once that glue is drying, take out the paper clips, open up that box. The one with the finger holes goes in first. The smooth one comes to the back. We now have a pillow with a little purse handle. We can embellish them, write on them for place cards, or just for personalized gifts. Have the writing or just the card fronts. And it won't matter if we use Christmas cards, birthday cards, note cards. Have the fold coming to the inside, have both folds coming to the outside, or having the folds tucked inside. Once you start doing them, they are definitely going to be very addicting. And what a nice way to use up old cards. Note cards, birthday cards, Christmas cards, any cards. They're a fun project to do. I do hope you give it a try, and as always, thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe and come on back. Let's see what we're working on next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.